Hello everyone, I'm Misha Ding. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel for another budget video. This is what I spent all of last month in July and then what might be happening in August that I can prepare for. And by the way, can you believe it's August? Like, that is crazy. So July was kind of interesting because I spent a lot of money. I contributed 54% of July's income towards investing, and investing every month kind of means different things. Sometimes it's just strictly to invest. Other times it's into sinking funds. So this month, let me make sure I got this right. So in July, I invested $6,000. And then I added, because you know we have some sinking funds that we want to save for, I added $2,000 towards my car sinking fund, and then I added $2,000 towards my moving sinking fund, again because our lease is coming up soon and we're not really sure what we're doing. Speaking of that, I have been mentioning throughout these videos that we have been thinking about moving to Houston, which is why the moving sinking fund is kind of large compared to if we were just moving someplace else. And we were supposed to go to Houston at the end of July to look at some places with our realtor, to rent, by the way, not to buy. And that was $300, almost $400 for the tickets, but we decided that we didn't really feel safe traveling at this time, especially when COVID is spiking in LA and Houston, or California and Houston. So I was able to cancel that, get a full refund, and then we'll just probably go sometime next month, hopefully later in August. So that's that. And then another video I want to do is I am changing banks. And if you follow me on Instagram, you kind of know why. I don't want to dive too deeply into it in this video because there's a lot of explanation going on as to why I'm leaving Chase and Ally, and it just deserves its own video. So there's a lot of things going on right now, a lot of moving of the money. So if you want to see kind of a video as to why I'm doing that and what my plan is, then let me know in the comments. But I did spend a lot of money on equipment this month, or in July, and clothing. This is actually one of the new pieces I bought. It is from a Black female-owned business, and I have been just trying to, I'm always pretty conscious about where I spend my money, but you know, small business, Black-owned businesses, been trying to actively support them. So this is one of them, but also I have been purchasing a lot of items from your guys' small businesses. I did a whole video about me purchasing items from small businesses from my followers in order to just like support them and spread the word about them, because I think now more than ever we really need to start supporting our local small business owners. And especially in this community, I feel like we have a really supportive community, and I just wanted to share some of the people who reached out to me, because on Instagram I did a shout out saying, hey, if you're a small business owner, just, you know, let me know. Oh, also, I got an alert from my, from my car insurance, and you guys know that I have a sinking fund for all of kind of my bills in advance. So for the first time in my life, I can afford, I've always been able to afford my car insurance, but out of all the sinking funds that I have to save for every year, that's always the largest of them. And for the first time in my life, I have a fully funded sinking fund for that. So also let me know, that isn't until August 28th, but I have it prepared and it is ready. It's in my Empower bank, so all I have to do is kind of transfer. Oh wait, no, it's in my checking. So it's perfect. But if you want me to do an updated sinking funds video as well, let me know if you would like to see that in the comments too. And in terms of equipment, I'm getting a lot of questions about my budget planner. It is still happening. However, it has become the biggest pain in the butt to try and think of a name for my planner, because every name that I've ever thought of for the past 2-3 months, literally, we have been on this for 3 months, the URL has been taken. And most of the time, it's not even taken by a business that's working. It's taken by people who are hoarding URL names and increasing the pricing to thousands and thousands of dollars to buy it out. So the equipment budget this month has been pretty high. What did I spend on it? Ugh. Yeah, man, I had to start hoarding my own URLs for this planner because I wasn't sure. So I got a couple domain names via GoDaddy, and they're not very expensive, but they do add up. And I just wanted to get those myself just so I could have time to figure out what exactly I want the name of my planner to be. But I decided to just buy a couple domain names of names that I was thinking of getting, just so within the time of me thinking about it and wanting to get it, no one swipes the domain name from right under me. So I unfortunately am one of those swipers that have a series of domain names under me, but most of them will only last for a year. So, and if anyone wants to reach out to me to take them, then they're more than welcome to have them for the cost that I bought them for. So I'm not trying to like make money off of these domain names. It's just me trying to protect kind of my business, to make sure that everything that I want is available to me. So that was probably the most frustrating part of July, was just realizing that people will do anything for money, and it's a bummer. But that was also why the equipment was 13%. Oh, I should probably go over it. Housing, 10%. Food, 5%. If you watched my favorite subscription boxes that I recommend, I talked about HelloFresh, and I just recently discovered, because I actually did a partnership with them on my podcast, a company called Green Fresh, which, oh no, Green Box. Green Chef. It's called Green Chef. Damn it. But Green Chef, what's that noise? But Green Chef is kind of the HelloFresh version of people with dietary restrictions. So whereas HelloFresh has vegetarian, Green Chef has vegan. They have keto and they have paleo meals. So if that's something that you're interested, I'll go ahead and link them in the description box, because through my podcast code, this video isn't sponsored by them, but I did have an episode sponsored by them on my podcast, and you get $80 off. Dogs, 4%, which is higher than normal. Travel was 2%, because we were planning to go to Houston. Personal is 4%, health is 2%, clothing 4%, and guys, entertainment, I spend 1% of my income on entertainment. Equipment 13%, investing 54%, and donating 1%. And now that I'm saying that out loud, that I've only donated 1% of my income this month, it makes me kind of feel like shit. However, donating 1% of my current income is still way more than I have been donating when I, was in a lot of debt. So I feel bad saying it verbally out loud that it was only 1%, but really monetarily wise, it's still much more than what I have been able to do for the past 32 years of my life. So something that I will try to improve on in August, but that's just the truth of where my money went. For entertainment, so Brian and I have actually discovered that the Rose Bowl has been doing drive-through movies. Every drive-through movie I think is $30, and that's for one car. So if you want to pile people into one car, then you split $30. And they have food available at the Rose Bowl through what are they called? Food trucks. However, the food wasn't really that good. So we started bringing our own food, and it was just like a really nice experience. We brought the dogs. We were able to watch, what did we watch? We watched Wonder Woman. We watched a couple other things that I can't remember right now, but that's been really fun. So it gets us out of the house. We're still safe. We're still social distancing, but it's just something different. That's been really nice, and I feel like now is the time for movies to kind of start doing that, kind of bringing back the nostalgia, and people just want to get out of the house, So I have finally taken over the reins for Brian's finances, particularly for his taxes. A lot of you guys ask me, how do I save my taxes as an independent contractor? And I take 30% and just throw it immediately once my income or once my paycheck hits my account, take 30%, put it immediately into a separate banking account. So it's out of sight, out of mind. By the way, that's not including the 20% that I have to give to my management team. So basically I only take home 50% of my paycheck, which is kind of a bummer. However, that's just how life is for me. So now I'm doing that with Brian because he's someone that has never saved for taxes, and it always is a moment of stress every single year. So now I'm just like, stop being an idiot, just let me do that. So I opened up a whole new bank, like checking and savings account for him, where all of his money is going directly into, and I'm going to be in charge of saving for taxes for him. And then hopefully once we catch up to saving taxes for 2020, because he has not done that yet, once that's done and we caught up with all the numbers, then I can start saving for the car that we want to buy together, and then eventually a down payment down the road. So those are things that I'm going to be taking care of for him starting now. However, I did want to ask you for some advice, because I mentioned this already. Our lease is up in our place in September 30th is our last day. And, you know, I talk about this. We've been toying around with what to do. I don't mind staying in this apartment. I personally love it. It gives us a lot of space. We have the outdoor space, which has been like a lifesaver during this time. However, it's still downtown, and our neighborhood has been hit really, really hard through COVID. You know, a lot of the businesses that were here are now closed down. A lot of people in my building are moving out. So there's a lot of things happening here. I still very much love this neighborhood. It like has a special place in my heart. Anyways, I wanted to ask about rent negotiations, and if you have ever tried it, and if you have any tips, to share those tips in the comment section. Because again, I'm not opposed to staying. As you guys know, our rent is $4,000 divided by Brian and I, so I pay $2,000 a month. That's for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, balcony, and huge patio. And we're able to walk around our neighborhood and stuff, and it has a dog run for the dog. So I don't mind staying here. However, if we do move, I would want it to be a little bit less expensive. Even though Brian and I can afford this, we're also trying to, you know, save up for things. So I don't know. Anyways, I just say that because, like I mentioned earlier, the neighborhood is changing, and it's not necessarily as thriving as it was when we first moved in. So I'm hoping maybe, even if it's just a couple $100s a month, that they would recognize the importance of just keeping us in the building. So, you know, I don't know. But that being said, I've also been looking again in Houston, and we've also been looking just in the Valley, East, Santa Monica, Culver City, Inglewood. So we're kind of just like throwing a huge net across all of LA and all of Houston to see what exactly catches us. Unfortunately, nothing that I've seen so far is like super exciting, except for this one house in Inglewood, which it's a house, it has a backyard, it has a garage that Brian could convert into a dance studio, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. But it's updated. However, it's, I think, so in demand that she has increased the rent from $4,000, which is what we're paying now, to $4,300, which is something that I'm not really comfortable. Even though it's just an extra $100 a month, I'm not necessarily comfortable paying that much, especially because the goal was to start saving money. But anyways, long story short, if you have any recommendations to lowering rent or rent negotiation, especially during this time, and especially since we have been consistently paying our rent even through the pandemic, let me know, please, because yeah, other than that, business as usual for the most part. And yeah, I have nothing else to share. Again, if you have any opinions about me sharing an updated sinking funds video, or a why I'm leaving my banks video, or if you have any advice as to negotiating the lowering of our rent for a place that we've been in for the past 2 years, if it's even possible. I don't know if it's possible, because they were not helpful for doing like a rent forgiveness situation during COVID. But anyways, please let me know in the comments. I'm Aisha Dang. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next video. Bye.